Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm talking about the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and specifically after having it for 5 months, I'm going to talk about 5 things that have changed substantially over the past 5 months that I kind of have been let down by, but some things that I really enjoy as well. I'm going to start off with number 1, Wi-Fi. Ladies and gentlemen, Wi-Fi has let me down. My phone has become extremely slow whenever it's on Wi-Fi. Now, I have other devices as well, and these are perfectly fine on Wi-Fi. This one is having quite a bit of issues. For example, whenever I open an app like Instagram and start scrolling, sometimes all the images in my scroll end up being super blurry. And obviously that kind of means they haven't loaded up fully. No matter how much I refresh, they still stay blurry. The only way to kind of get back to the good resolution is to close the app and reopen it. The problem with that, however, is first of all, you have to spend a minute or two closing the app and waiting for the loading screen to continue resuming your scroll. But also, when you do close the app, you lose all the booty you were pursuing and you kind of have to start over with a new scroll, new feed. So it's kind of annoying at times. And Instagram is just an example, one example. It's the same for YouTube, Twitter, all the apps sometimes, and this has happened enough over the past few months, or specifically over the past month, where I need to bring it up now, where it's starting to get quite a bit annoying. Now, to fill the holes in my theory, I have 3 different properties. I have a condo in Toronto, one in New York, and my home here in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And in all 3 of these properties, I have super fast Wi-Fi. And I've tested it on other devices. I've tested it on iPhone 13 Pro, the S22 Ultra. All of these devices work perfectly fine on Wi-Fi at these locations. It's just whenever I have the Ultra on Wi-Fi, it becomes extremely slow. And what's interesting is when I use data, when I actually switch this out to data, it becomes fast again. Data is actually faster than Wi-Fi. Now, the problem with data is that it's going to eat through my battery, and we're going to talk about battery in just a minute, but that's the first pain point. And let me know in the comment section below if this is something that you guys are experiencing as well. Now, before we move into the next one, make sure to smash that subscribe button because it really helps grow a small channel like mine, and I appreciate every single one of you. Also, make sure to smash the like button if you like this video, hit the dislike if you dislike this video, and let me know in the comment sections below how I can improve. Do you guys know what the fastest growing crime in America is? It's identity fraud, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a new victim every 14 seconds. And that's why I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all combined into one easy to use app. People, you cannot go wrong. You might have one of these services already, but if you don't have all of them in a package, you're leaving holes open. It's like having your back door open when your front door is closed. What are you doing? Imagine one day you try logging into your account on your Gmail and your password changed, and then you start getting notifications from your bank that your card's being used in all kinds of activities. Sadly, that's a reality for a lot of people. Thankfully, Aura monitors the dark web for your emails, passwords, and social security numbers and sends alerts fast, right to your phone and your email. And Aura also gives you real-time alerts on any suspicious activity that's being done with your identity, with your cards, anything like that. And of course, we all know what a VPN is. Aura's VPN allows you to browse the internet and the webs in a secure fashion. Now, if you want to get started with a 1-week free trial of Aura, I've got the link in the description below, so make sure you sign up. They again sponsored this video, and it's awesome to partner with such a company. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. On with the next one. Now let's talk about the battery, and there has been some noticeable change. Okay, I don't know why I'm scratching the screens. The battery has changed a little bit since I first bought this phone, since month number 1. And I'd say the biggest change is in confidence, and let me break it down. So when I first bought this device, this thing was giving me like 3 to 4 hours of screen on time, and that was pretty terrible. And it stayed that way for like the first 2 to 3 weeks. And that was just it trying to optimize to my usage, which almost all devices are doing nowadays. However, after it became optimized to my usage, we was getting 6 to 7 hours easy every single day of screen on time. So the battery did bump to kind of 6 to 7 hours. Now the issue is in confidence. You see, after my battery started hitting 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, that was just me using this like a regular phone. The next month, I decided to start traveling, and I was traveling quite a bit for work. And because of that, my battery went down quite a bit. Like, I couldn't get 6 to 7 hours anymore. I was on data all the time. I was traveling, so I was generally on this more than any other device I have. And so I was back to like 3 to 4 hours of screen on time during my traveling over the past, like, I think it was last month. And the problem is that now that I've done traveling for the past 2 weeks, like I haven't been back traveling anymore, the battery hasn't gone back to 6-7 hours of screen on time. We're still kind of stuck in that 3 to 4 hour phase. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get back to that 6 to 7 hour screen on time, but it is something that kind of has me shook. It's kind of broken my confidence a little bit. Just thinking that, you know, one trip or a few trips outside of the country and all of a sudden my battery isn't performing the way it did before. And it is noticeably inconsistent. I'm talking like some days I'll go to the gym in the morning, so I'll wake up, this will be at 100%, I'll head out to the gym, and by the time I'm back, it's down to like 68%. And that's not a joke, this has happened. It doesn't happen every day I go to the gym, but it has happened where all of a sudden it's like just drained, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Now I'm gonna make a full comparison video of the iPhone 13 and the S22 Ultra Max later, so make sure to stay subscribed for that. But when I charge the iPhone, it charges up a lot slower, but the charge lasts a lot longer and it's so much more confident. There hasn't been a single time where the charge has gone down to the point where I was surprised. It's always consistent. This phone charges up extremely fast. I'm talking, you know, this will be at 5%. I'll put it on charge. I'll go make a number 2 in the bathroom. I'm coming back and this is at like 65%. Like, it charges up extremely fast, which is awesome, but the charge is kind of really inconsistent. Some days it'll just drain and I don't even know what's going on. And another thing, it does heat up during the charge as well. Nothing too unusual. I mean, most Android devices heat up these days. That's again something I haven't noticed as much with the iPhone. Mostly with the Android devices, they do tend to heat up. But let me know in the comments if this is something that you're also seeing on your device. On to the next one. Now, to talk about the build quality, people, this thing is faring really well. It's faring much better than I thought it would be. Fam, it's summertime. I have shorts on, I have pants, they don't have deep pockets. I don't have deep pockets, fam. Student budget, as you know. So this has twice now gone flying. I thought it was deep in my pockets. It wasn't. I was sitting there and it would just slide out, hit the hardwood floor. And it's happened one other time where I thought I put it all the way in. I didn't, and it actually got kind of, you know, starred across the room, and it still ended up surviving. There are a few nicks and scratches on the actual device, but nothing that you can really see. Like, if I was going to trade this in, I would still say it's excellent, new, unused, unopened condition, obviously. So it's still in fantastic condition, but that's a little bit surprising because when I first made my first month review video, I thought that having a case on this was super mandatory just because of how heavy this was, and even a simple drop would probably shatter it. It hasn't shattered it yet, but I'm not gonna put it up to the test anymore. I hope it never falls again. But I think that it just kind of brought up my confidence in the build quality of the device. Water has gone into the device a little bit. I'm gonna make a small point of this. So the water, I left this device on the sink. The water got in through the speaker holes, and for the rest of the day, the device sounded like absolute garbage. Now, it already sounded like garbage stock. I hate the speakers on this. The S22 Ultra has much better speakers. The Plus has much better speakers than the Ultra, but generally after the day passed, the speakers dried out and it started to sound a lot better. My point is that if you do get water in here, don't freak out. It's going to sound like a robotic trash can, but you just got to give it time. There's no amount of shaking that you can do that'll get all the water out. Trust me, I tried it. So overall, all in all, the build quality, phenomenal. I like the way it's built. I mean, I said this on the first month review as well. This is one gorgeous device, and I think the only real rival is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And even then, like, the Max is built for like that creative customer. This is all business. Like, you look at this and we're talking business, fam. Anyways, moving on to number 4, heating issues. Okay, this thing does heat up now. There are a few instances where I really notice this thing heat up, specifically when I'm on a drive, I'm a long drive, and I have Google Maps pulled up, I have YouTube playing as well, and data is on. This thing will heat up in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. If I'm playing any kind of game for about 30 minutes, even if it's just chess, listen, even just chess, this thing is gonna heat up. If you charge your phone for over 8 minutes is kind of what I noticed. 8 minutes, this thing is heating up. And when I'm using my camera in 4K, so I'm shooting video, at about the 4-minute mark, it heats up. Now, when I say it heats up, it's becoming noticeable, right? It's when you start holding this and it gets a little bit uncomfortable, you know it's heating up, it's kind of hard to hold. Nothing that feels alarming, nothing that's like, okay, yeah, this is damaging components, so nothing like that. And there has not been a time where the device has shut down due to overheating, but that's just something that you notice. And what else is that this has been increasing since month number 1. So month 1, aside from the GOS issue, so that was specifically with gaming and apps that were being managed by GOS, nothing else really got this heated up as much. Also, of course, charge, that did heat up this phone. But nowadays, I'm just noticing it a lot more. Maybe, again, it's because I'm coming from the iPhone. So that comparison to the iPhone, I have noticed it doesn't heat up as much as this. But yeah, this thing heats up a lot more than it did day 1. And the last thing we gotta talk about this, because we're talking about the Ultra, fam. We're talking about the Ultra. We gotta talk about the S Pen and the productivity. I'm gonna be bare, dead honest with you here, fam. Every single month of using this phone, my S Pen usage has decreased little by little every month. And you might think, oh, you're a bum, you don't have anything productive to do, and that's partially true, but not completely. You see, I own a few properties, I have them on Airbnb, and so having this for land transfer taxes, sales taxes, specifically with lawyers, and condo contracts with realtors. Managing my managers that are managing the properties and getting complaints from all the guests. Like, if you don't know, go watch my old videos where I talk about my Airbnb business. So that's one thing I'm doing. And then I have 3 smaller companies, which are fintech in the hospitality and e-commerce, which I'm also managing. And then I'm a college student on a student budget. All of that, and this is my primary device, and I can still tell you, honestly, I'm not using this. Shut up, dude. Jeez. It gets really annoying when you don't put the S Pen in after a while. It's just gonna never end. Just got your S Pen? Got your S Pen? You got it, fam. It's like that. Anyways, my point is that my workflow isn't so small, and I still have to say that, I mean, I used the S22 Ultra for a few months. Both of these, I could get the work done. Now, obviously, it was more precise with this because, for example, if I have to sign a document, signing it with the S Pen is gonna look a lot nicer than signing it with my finger, but both of them get the job done. No one cares how nice your signature looks on a land transfer contract. And the other point to know is that if you're not productive right now, having a phone with an S Pen isn't going to make you any more productive. Just keep that in mind. Now, of course, you gotta admit that if you're an artist, if you're a creative guy, or if you're a designer, graphic, whatever it might be, you're a manga creator, in which case hit me up. I have a few fan fictions I wanna write. Yeah, this is going to be insanely useful, but for most people, I think that it's not as useful as you might think it is. I'll just say it like that. So with that being said, I do find myself using the S Pen a lot less over the past month and few months. I still do like to use the taskbar, so that's still extremely useful to me, but I don't use the S Pen. I mean, it's got to be something really important where I want to take it out, but if it's not that important, I'm just not going to go through the hassle of taking it out and putting it back in. There's just this like threshold that has to be crossed before I, penetrate and take out the S Pen. And it's kind of similar to the Z Flip, where if the notification on the cover screen wasn't important, I wouldn't flip the phone open. So they have that similarity there. But ladies and gentlemen, are you subscribed yet? Make sure you're subscribed because, again, I really, really appreciate it. But that's it. That's it. Over the past 5 months, that's what I can come up with. It's still a phenomenal beast of a device, but there are things that are changing that are not consistent with my experience day number 1. So keeping on watching these videos will help you understand how these devices change over the months with my specific experience. We didn't talk tech, we didn't talk specs, we talked experiences, and that's what I like to talk about on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed. Like this video if you like it, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.